Well, I've been aware of my marketability for a little while because I see my impression on things that I've inspired. I'm able to see how my ideas have turned into profit for other people. And I'm really, really interested in turning my ideas into profit for myself and my family now.
Mental Health Monday.
Without having to get up. So I think there are different levels of escapism, but for me to continue being happy, I had to get out of my hometown.
Okay.
And I had to go see who I was in other places, and without the comfort of home.
Yeah. So you needed a reflection of who you were in the eyes of others.
Indeed. What is my weight in the world, more so than anything else? Like, what is my place on this planet? Because I was informed that something was sent here to kill us.
Yeah.
Something was sent here to wipe all of us out. And as opposed to taking that land down, I decided to figure out, if it's meant to take me out, it's going to have to take me all the way out. And that is the thing that I think that's the biggest thing that I'm taking from COVID that I'm going to live the rest of my life with is, if it's going to come, it's going to have to come all the way. That's no matter what the situation is. That's in business, that's in friendships, that's in relationships. If you're lukewarm, I just got to spit you from my mouth. This is not, it's hot or cold right now because we can't afford to play anymore with the power, with the talent, with the abilities, with the resources that are available for us to sustain. We just can't play anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of children in the way, and those children are distractions from real progression.
When did you? I got that.
You feel me?
When did you become aware that you were building something?
I've always been aware. It was always one of those things where I knew I needed to create something for people to believe in. Because I've always believed in myself so much.
Yeah.
So you can't instill confidence inside of anybody. You can be a representation and a reminder of confidence, and you can inspire confidence, but you can't instill it. And the only way to truly inspire someone is to live it yourself. If you're not living it, you're lying, in my personal opinion. And I do my best to live everything I say I do.
Yeah. So, let's talk about business contracts.
Let's do it.
You got a chance to work with factories this year. Was that under contract, or was it just verbal agreement on, hey, I have the funds and I would like for you guys to bring this to life?
The one thing that COVID destroyed the supply chain. So when you think about these entities, these pattern makers, any maker of anything, they weren't making anything anymore.
So there was a gap in the market.
There was a very large gap. So what I was able to do was pull up. There's great value in pulling up. An email doesn't work sometimes. The phone call doesn't have that feel.
Yeah.
I was in Paris and I was having lunch with Sam Lambert from Art Comes First.
What year was this?
This was this past summer. This was in August.
Okay, so 2020.
I'm in Paris 2021. This just happened.
Oh, this just
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Paris with Sam Lambert from Art Comes First, and I was complaining to him about, I was just bitching, honestly. But he's so positive that he told me that the reason why I was upset about what had transpired or what had taken place was because I didn't show up to see it for myself. He said my presence is undeniable, and when you send a flare out, it's different than the comment. So you're going to shed more light in the room yourself as opposed to sending a messenger or a message.
Yeah.
And that just was confirmation on the value of pulling up. But I sought after everybody I was interested in working with, and I sought after the things that I wanted to learn more about. So I really gained a very, very vast and greater understanding of Turkish Terry. And working at Rag & Bone arguably made the best t-shirt that I've ever worn in my life. It's a Pima cotton t-shirt out of Peru, and it's breathable, it's stretchable. You wash it, it can re-shrink into size, and some of those shirts I've had for close to a decade. As opposed to me attempting to make a shirt like Rag & Bone, I decided to take the blueprint that Rag and Bone showed me and how they were able to be creative and find another medium to be equally as creative with. And that's Turkish Terry. And, you know, my name is Terrance. Turkish Terry. It's one of those things that I feel like the story is going to make itself, but I had to go there to learn more about it first, as opposed to thinking what I wanted to make with it as the priority.
Yeah.
I've made several things, but I still haven't bought a product to market yet because I'm still in the learning phase myself.
How did you become aware of your marketability while you were out of the country?
How did I become aware? Well, I've been aware of my marketability for a little while because I see my impression on things that I've inspired. I'm able to see how my ideas have turned into profit for other people. And I'm really, really interested in turning my ideas into profit for myself and my family now.
Okay.
For the longest time, I've worked behind a lot of people bars. I made a lot of people money in the bar space. And when COVID happened, no one had anything for me.
Were there any notable bars?
Several. They're not noteworthy at the moment because they're not paying me to talk about them in public.
That's real. That's real. That's real. Now, within the landscape of traveling, having these conversations, opening up to folks and people reaching out, there was one moment you and I had talked in the middle of the pandemic, and you told me that one of the designers for Beyonce reached out. What was that like, having that moment?
Honestly, it really wasn't even a moment. Like, we went to high school together.
Okay. I've gone to high school with a lot of people who don't reach out. Yeah,
well, I reached out to her actually.
Okay.
It was one of those things where she is doing her thing. I'm extremely impressed with everything that she's done. And I was telling a friend of mine that I was actually getting into like the actuation phase on something that I made. And they was like, well, why don't you reach out to this person?
What's an actuation phase?
Like when things are actually happening. Like,
okay.
You plan, you plot, scheme, and then you execute. So even in execution, like if I were to get up to go to the store, the first part of that execution is taking the first step to stand up.
Yes.
That's actuation.
Okay.
They may not be me getting to the store yet, but that is me in the phase of moving to the end goal, which is to get to the store. So as I begin to move to like going through the different stages of